What is going on, friends? Matt Carter here, that YouTube realtor. If this is your first time to my channel, welcome. If you're not familiar with what I do here, I talk about anything real estate related for the London, Ontario, and the surrounding area. Give you some tips and tricks, market updates, anything to do with the real estate related world around the London, Ontario region, as well as some things just about the city to explore. So again, if this is your first time here, make sure you show some love, hit that like button, subscribe, and make sure you get notified for all the content coming up in the future. Today, I'm coming at you with one of the most popular segments on my channel, and that's the market updates. So we're taking a look at the month that was October 2021. So let's dive right into those stats. So as we look through the numbers here, we're going to see a pretty interesting stats here with some pretty big negative numbers as well as some pretty big positive numbers and changes compared to last year at this time. So overall, we're seeing the new listings at 606 new listings hit the market in the month of October, which is down almost 20% since last year at this time. This is accompanied with 619 homes that actually sold during the month, which is down almost 11% since this year, last time this year. This is really interesting looking at these numbers because generally speaking, what we're going to see is in the fall time, in the October month, we're going to generally see a little bit of a pickup since the summer market where a lot of people tend to go on vacation, and towards the end of the summer, beginning of fall, when a lot of things are starting up, such as school, extracurricular activities, and all that. So it is quite interesting to see that there were so few listings compared to last year, especially with restrictions and everything around COVID opening up. You'd figure there'd be a lot more people out there getting their houses on the market and getting ready and motivated to sell. Along with this, we saw that the active listings at the end of the month was only 299 listings on the market. Now, this may sound like a lot of homes that are on the market, but when you look at the buyer pool and how many people are actually looking to make a move or enter the real estate market, it's really not a lot at all. And if you compare that to last year at this time, it's 45, almost 46% less active listings on the market than there was last year. So even though there aren't a lot of homes on the market, homes are still being bought at an astonishing rate, and it's way too quickly, there's too many people out there looking to buy homes comparatively speaking to what is on the market. Because of the lack of inventory on the market, we're going to look at the months of inventory stat that I talk about in most of my videos. Right now we're sitting at half a month of inventory, which means that if all the homes that are on the market currently continued selling at the rate that they are today and no other homes went to market, we would only be left with 2 weeks of inventory until all the homes were sold. This is an astonishingly low number especially for London. And if you compare it historically to the past few years, last year we were a little bit higher at 0.8, but if you look back even further, 5 to 10 years ago, we were all the way up at the 3.6 and 5 months of inventory mark, which if you're looking at it relatively speaking, that would be what would be a balanced market and quite a healthy market. And there just wouldn't be as much competition out there as there is today. The median days on market, so how long it takes for the average home to sell, is at that 8 days, which is about average and about on par for what we've seen the last few months. This could be a lot shorter if people weren't using specific tactics when they're selling their home, having to wait till a specific day to review offers. I imagine it would be down in the 3, maybe 4 days on market would be that median if we didn't have those tactics being used. But still, homes are lasting about a week on the market, and it's showing based on the numbers. So, and the last stat I really want to talk about is the average price of a home in London. It's the one that a lot of people kind of monitor the market with and kind of understand and value a little bit more than the other numbers. So right now we are sitting at just over $652,000 for the average price of a home in London. This is up just under 24% since last year. So pretty extreme gains on that. If you did buy a home in the last couple of years, you're probably doing quite well with the equity in your home. But as you can see, the market continues to roll down the road and homes continue to increase in price. And based on those numbers, you can kind of see why the average price of a home is increasing based on the other stats that I talked about previously. There's not a lot of homes on the market. There's not a lot of active listings, and homes just aren't sitting around for too long. So the more competitive, the more buyers are out there, the fewer homes that are actually on the market, leads to a much more competitive environment, driving up house prices and leading to that increase in average price of a home. So takeaway messages. I usually do a separate one for buyers and sellers in my past videos, and I feel like if I did that, I'd be just more of a broken record about what I've said in the past. So just kind of a recap and maybe kind of projections, what I think is going to happen in the next little while. Usually this time of year, we do usually see a little bit of an increase in activity. We see more homes hitting the market, and we haven't quite seen that increase and that spike in inventory getting on the market. So competition remains very high. So, I mean, if you are a seller, you're going to be having a lot of competition out there looking at your house. And if you're a buyer, you're going to have a lot of people to go up against. So keep that in mind if you are looking for a home in the next couple months. Things should start to settle down a little bit as we get into the colder months. Once we get into November or into December, second half of December towards the holidays, things do start slowing down, and generally that is going to be the slowest time of the year for active listings and sales activity within the city. So keep that in mind, whether you're looking to buy or sell, whatever is going to be advantageous for you. Possibly there could be less competition at that time, but there's also going to be a whole lot less fewer listings on the market. So hopefully that gave you a little bit of insight into what's going on in the London market. Things are ramping up in terms of price, but not so much in activity right now. If you find value in this content and you liked what you saw, make sure you pass it along to anybody that you think would value from this content. Also, make sure you hit that like button, help me out with the algorithm here. Let more people see this video. Make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell just so you don't miss anything coming up in the future with all my videos. And until then, take care.